Hello again, one and all. GLL back yet again. This is GamerJlee's video. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to analyze it. We're going to rip into it and have a good time. So this is going to be a bit of a reality check for some people, and it's also going to be me just calling out bullshit. So hope you enjoy.
Hey, dude.
Oh, hey, dude, what's up?
Not a whole lot. More drama in the Halo community, and Frank O'Connor, I guess, said something stupid. Something about how the rec system in Halo 5 was well liked and it was unintrusive or something like that. I think I'm gonna make a video on it, but you know what? You want to hear what he said?
Yeah.
All right, so I think I've got the quote. All right, I've got it right here. This is bunk. We're not re-evaluating anything significant, at least. And Microsoft isn't designing anything for the next game. 343 is. We watched the EA Battlefront thing with the curiosity you'd expect, but our current rec system is player-focused and well-liked and unintrusive as far as these things go.
Okay, so first of all, before we get into the response to this, okay, these comments are from Frank O'Connor. He's been with Halo for years and years and years, but all he's ever done is marketing. All he does is feed you bullshit. He's been feeding you bullshit since 2001. That's all he's ever done. Anybody that thinks different is completely off their fucking tree. Okay, that's all he's ever done. That's what he does. He's customer relations. That's all he's ever done. Okay, they keep changing what his fucking title is, but that's all he's ever done. Marketing, customer relations, sales rep. He's just a sales rep. He's a snake oil salesman. That's all he does, is try to sell you product and try to damage control for the company. With this sentence alone, the amount of lies and damage control in this one sentence is off the charts. But this is the guy that never lies, says Chief Chinook. But whatever. Okay. I mean, it's not like Frank O'Connor said there wasn't going to be a Halo 2 anniversary and then Halo 2 anniversary came out. But he never lies, the man. But 343 never lied in general. But just look at this comment, okay? First of all, we're not re-evaluating anything significant, and Microsoft isn't designing anything for the next game. 343 is. Right, so let me get this straight, okay? Just so we're clear. This sentence basically confirms that Halo 6 and all Microsoft games in the future are still going to have microtransactions. Despite the overwhelming negative reception that Battlefront had. Seems like these fuckers just never learn, but okay. I think losing half the fan base of Halo wasn't far enough. They want to completely destroy the franchise at this point, but hey, it's their franchise to destroy, so have at it. I mean, the PlayStation 4 is outselling the Xbox 2-1 for a reason, isn't it? So we're not reevaluating anything. Okay, so microtransactions confirmed for Halo 6. There's a subtitle for this video. Microsoft isn't designing anything for the next game. 343 is, okay? 343 is Microsoft. Microsoft is 343. The idea that they are separate entities is a total lie. It's a lie. How are they separate entities? Who pays Frank O'Connor's wages? Where does that money come from? It comes from the sales of the Halo games, right? It comes from the production team of the Halo franchise. Who owns the Halo franchise again? That would be Microsoft. Who owns 343 Industries, the studio? Who owns every person that works there? Microsoft does. It's a Microsoft studio. It's not like BioWare, who were there for a while and they made Microsoft Studios games, who then sold out and went to EA and blah blah blah. It's not like Bungie, who fucking were at Microsoft and then went 343 or Microsoft. It's the same thing. You're not going to see 343 split off and go work for fucking Activision. It's part of the company. It's just a name so that if anything goes wrong, they have plausible deniability. They can say, we've got rid of 343. That's it. Essentially, they are Microsoft. They work for Microsoft. Microsoft pays their wages. They are Microsoft. The idea that they're two separate things is completely bogus. And I've said this a number of times, but it keeps coming back up because they keep trying to separate the two as though this is this and this is this, but they're not. It's the same thing. Okay, so the current rec system is player focused and well liked and unintrusive. Okay, so how is the rec system player focused? Player focused how? It's forcing you to spend real money in the game, therefore it's player focused. Surely it's gambling focused. It's not about people that actually play the game, it's about people who like to gamble.
Because I'm not here to play games.
It's not about people who actually want to play the game to unlock stuff. It's random. So how is it player focused? Player implies you'd be actually playing the fucking game to get something, which you're not, because it's completely fucking random. So it's not player focused by definition. That depends on what your definition of a player is. I would say it was somebody who actually plays the fucking game, not somebody who spends money thereby bypassing playing the game to unlock something. That's the opposite of a player. Okay, whatever. Obviously, no microtransaction system is unintrusive because it tends to fucking affect the entire fucking game most of the time. And even if it affects a specific game mode, all the effort and all the effort from the developers goes into that mode and goes into the fucking shit so that you'll fucking spend money. That's the whole point of them.
What? Are you fucking kidding me, you stupid motherfucker? That has to be the most fucking idiotic thing I've ever heard anyone say about fucking Halo 5's microtransactions. Why the fuck?
Okay, I guess I'm gonna let him calm down for a few minutes.
A few minutes later.
You stupid bald-headed casual f.
Okay, did you get it out of your system?
Yeah, I need to talk about this right now.
Well, good thing I'm gonna be recording a video.
It gets better.
Hey everyone, GamerJlee here, and welcome back to another video. And as you guys heard, we are pretty pissed about this, and I have Insane Matt joining me for one of these special podcast-styled videos where we sit down and we talk about things that are going on that are kind of important. And Matt, this is kind of important, huh?
Oh yeah, this is really important.
Because
how is this important? Okay, when has Microsoft ever come out and said that they weren't putting microtransactions in Halo 6? They haven't, so therefore it would be safe to assume that they would be in it, being as they're in all Microsoft's other games. So I don't think this is important at all. It's just confirmation of what we already suspected, that they would continue down this retarded fucking path. So it's not really that important.
the fact that he said that the microtransactions in Halo 5 were well liked and unintrusive to the game is a fucking outright PR bullshit lie.
Oh yeah, I mean when you say it's like that's
What? But Frank O'Connor doesn't lie, because Canuck said he doesn't lie, so it must be true.
a lie. That is a lie.
Right. It might be liked by, Microsoft shills and sellouts and fanboys, but by the majority of the community, it was not liked. And a lot of us were very vocal about how we felt about cosmetic, you know, things that we've had since like Halo 2 and 3.
Well liked by shills, but they don't actually like things. They just pretend to like them because they're making revenue, so they don't actually like them. So think about it.
Being locked away behind a, you know, microtransaction wall. You know what I mean?
343 knows that too, and I don't know why he came out and just said that all of a sudden.
Right, like
Does 343 know that though? Because 343 does not listen and does not give a fuck.
think of it this way, like think of all the things that were locked behind this wall, behind a microtransaction and the progression system of Halo 5. Like if you got to a certain level, you would unlock a new emblem. I would be totally okay with that. You know, you get that little level 20 rec pack, right? And you open it and you get a certain emblem that you're supposed to get. I would be okay with that. But the fact that there's, you know, armor and there's, you know, emblems and visors and everything else hidden behind a microtransaction, that to me is very intrusive. That's the definition of intrusive when your past games have had these options, right?
Yeah. Right. And the thing is, what makes it even more intrusive for me is that they purposely like duplicate these armors and skins and helmets and whatever the fuck they are.
Right.
Just so it would make it harder for you to get what you want. So they're literally like, you know, take advantage of fucking human psychology or whatever the fucking, you know, gambling, because it's addicting.
Right. It's addictive. And basically what they're trying to get you to do is basically give up on the idea of, you know, grinding through these levels to earn rec packs and rec points and whatever the fuck, and just get your wallet and throw money at them. And I know people, including myself, because I made this mistake in the past, who did this. We basically said, you know what? I'm not having fun playing this game, but I want to be part of the cool kids club. Let me just throw my wallet at it and try and solve the problem that way, you know?
So let me get this straight. You've played all the Halo games, correct me if I'm wrong. None of the Halo games had microtransactions. All the previous Halo games were fun, apart from maybe Halo 4, which we won't get into. So when Halo 5 comes out, you think the best way to make the game more fun is to buy real money only rep packs in a full price game to somehow make the multiplayer more fun to play. Even though it only gives you cosmetics if you aren't playing Warzone anyway. That makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. That's sheer utter madness.
It was that bad. And the worst part is, like, there were armors. Like, I remember that they had this bundle of helmets, right? And you could either spend like 150,000 rec points or something like that.
Let me just stop you right there, though. This is Halo 5 we're talking about. So the game's already shit. Okay, now just look at all them helmets, right? I would say, let me see now, that's like the Halo Reach pack there I'm looking at. So why not just fucking play Halo Reach and just circumvent the entire idea of playing Halo 5? You literally just bypass even boosting for that shit, even getting credits and trying to unlock that shit by simply playing a superior game. So why even bother? Why even try and play that crap when it's trying to get you to spend real money in the game? Why not just be like, I ain't playing it no more? Simple. It's not difficult, really. It's not like there isn't a million other Halo games. Well, not a million, but there's fucking loads. So why the need? Why the need to play this garbage? Makes no sense. And even if you don't play in Halo, there's millions of other games out there. So why bother?
Or you could spend $10 Like, I think the majority of people would be like, okay, either I have to grind a fuck ton of matches this entire week, or B, I just spent $10. And I guarantee you the majority of people just spent $10.
Well, surely if we're going by the numbers here, not that I'm very good at maths. I was pretty shit at maths. I'm still pretty shit at maths. But let's just go by the basic numbers here, okay? So, nobody played Halo 5 even by the time that pack was released. I mean, it had one of the lowest populations, the lowest population out of all the Halo games. Lowest sales out of all the Halo games. And no fucker gave a fuck about the game at that point anyway. So, out of the few thousand people that were still playing it, say double figures, triple figures, say 300,000, being generous. A million, nah. But say 300,000 were still playing it. Out of those 300,000, you've got to have the most retarded idiots that are still left. They're all going to be the dregs of society that just can't let go and can't let things die and can't accept that it's over and just pretend. And I'm sure they probably put money into it, and hence why their X sales are fucking high. That's why they fucking aren't going to take them out. But in terms of the entire fan base, most people were already gone by then anyway. Now, if you're going to give a fanboy, which is what these people are at this point, because there's no other way to describe them, an option of you want these helmets, and they're there, and you can grind to unlock them, or unlock them with real money, then some of them are going to take the option to unlock real money. But if you give this fucking option to anybody with any common sense, okay, if this was done on day one of release, for instance, most people would have just said, well, I ain't going to play this fucking game anymore, which is what a lot of people did. So there's always option C. That's what I'm trying to say. There's always option C.
And I came up with an idea, and I like to call it option C. Wait a minute, brother. I laid it out nice and straight for you because this isn't like the past. That's why I laid it out nice and clear. Plan A or plan B, and if you're coming with plan C, you better be one heck of a visionary and lay it out real straight for me, brother, because I'm not here to play games.
Hulk, one thing I don't do is play games. So let me lay out option C really simply for you.
Don't play the fucking game. That's always an option. That's an option in anything you play ever. Okay? We've just forgotten about that option. Okay? It's like me with Gears of War grinding for shit to try and get achievements. All I have to do is just stop. But I don't want to stop because I want to finish the shit. And it's like they're pissing me off by keep putting shit in and adding achievements in. But at the same time, I somewhat enjoy the game, so I carry on doing it. But I'm sort of torturing myself because I don't really want to play as much of it as I do. But because I want to finish the achievements, I therefore do it. And it's the same with this. But this is literally forcing you to spend real money. And at that point, you just draw the line. You say, if you're going to grind for hours to do something, fair enough. Okay, it's your time. But if you're going to spend money, you're just fucking up for everybody else. You're just fucking making the system worse for the next time or whatever. So you're just fucking everybody else over and making the game worse in the progress and making the franchise worse and all games worse in the process. If you look at the bigger picture. So who would do that? It literally makes no sense. These are the idiots we've got out there that put money into these fucking games. But I'm sure they're not the majority. They're just the minority of idiots. But because there's a minority of idiots, a few 100,000 idiots that spend all this money, then all the rest of us have to fucking suffer. And it's wrong. But there's always option C. Just get the fuck off the game. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shortcut.
Right, exactly. And that's not even getting into the Warzone side of things. Like, if you look at Warzone, Warzone was a game mode that had a lot of potential, but when you look at how tied to microtransactions was, especially with the month of Mythic. You remember that?
Back the fuck up. Okay, so you're saying Warzone mode had a lot of potential. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, Warzone mode was basically created after they decided to put microtransactions in the game as a way of making people buy weapons. But they didn't want to fucking lose everybody, even though they did, by making still have normal slayers, so it would like make people stick around if they didn't like the idea of buying weapons. But that failed anyway. But even so, that's what they were trying to do there. The whole game mode is designed around the microtransaction system, as is Warzone Firefight, completely designed around it. So it's about buying better weapons in order to do better at the game. And I'm not just talking about buying them as in buying them with real money. Obviously, you buy them with credits, but you can buy credits to get more stuff. So you'd have more wraiths, more fucking shit than other people because you put money into it and buy a few packs here and a few packs there. And that is basically the idea of the game. But that's started as the core fucking idea of behind it, is how can we get people to buy this crap? And that's how they created it. So I don't see how it ever had any potential to begin with. What potential does it have? Okay, the game, there's no BTB in the game other than Forge maps, and there's no invasion mode in the game, but there's a Warzone mode that uses a microtransaction system that has zero potential, that has no less potential than invasion mode ever did, less potential than basic BTB, less potential than half the game modes that were already fucking missing. But it had potential for what? What potential? They just looked at Titanfall and shit and they were like, let's copy that. They don't have any originality. Nothing.
Crap that we talked about that one time.
Yes, that was a terrible time.
Well, and the worst part is you can still get those packs. You can still get them through a kind of like, I wouldn't call it a glitch in the system, but through the Xbox store. Like if I go to, I'm gonna actually do this live right now. If I go to the Xbox official site, right, and I go and search up Halo 5 Guardians, and I go to where is it? There it is. If I go and see Xbox One games, Halo 5 Guardians, and I go to all, and I scroll down, right?
Yeah.
You can still buy the Norfang Month of Mythic. You can still buy it.
Of course you can.
Like, oh, and they also still have the
That's not a glitch. That's fucking intentional, man.
Anchor Prime and the TARDIS Gavel. And the fucking Prophet's Bane. Like, I almost want to see if you actually get the item if you buy this right now.
You just don't.
Like,
just don't.
Well, and they give you a discount. They give you $1 discount if you have Game Pass. Which, by the way, they announced today they're doing something actually consumer friendly with the Game Pass. But like, it's intrusive as hell.
How? For people that are like just watching this now and it maybe not don't know what that is about, that's like because the Game Pass is now putting in all Microsoft's new releases, like Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, and anything that comes out in the future. Why is that? Why the hell is that? Did he say consumer friendly?
Which, by the way, they announced today they're doing something actually consumer friendly with.
Why is that consumer friendly? That's not consumer friendly. The Game Pass is a load of bollocks, alright? You don't own anything. You don't own anything. It's not consumer friendly. How is it consumer friendly? Game Pass is not a great deal for consumers. It makes zero sense to say that. I have no idea why you would say that. Okay, for people that actually want to own games, it ain't fucking for them, is it? It's for people that want cheap ass thrills, play a game for 5 minutes, move on to the next one, play a game for 5 minutes. It's not for the real gamers. It's not for the real consumers. The people that actually play video games and enjoy video games is for the casual ass noobs. And then what's going to happen is we'll end up with no physical games, or they'll try and do that, and then it will be the end of the Xbox brand, because they'll try and push for an all digital future, which will undo them and destroy them from the inside. So why would we want that? Makes no sense. Nobody's stepping up to the plate. Who's going to fill that Microsoft void? Do we really want Sony to have a monopoly over the console market? What? Unless you've got an alternative, Microsoft's all we got. And we don't really want them to just disappear. We need Microsoft. We need Xbox. We need it to succeed. We need it to be better. We don't want Xbox Game Pass, which ruins Microsoft. Basically makes it worse than it is now. So why is that better for the consumer? So that we end up with no physical media? How is that better for the consumer? You can't trade in a game. You can't buy a game used. It's not better for the consumer. It's better for Microsoft. 100% profit. $120 a year. Every year. Guaranteed. For everybody that's subscribed. It's better for Microsoft. It's not better for the consumer. If it'd be better for the consumer if you subscribe in every single game that comes out, you actually own those games. That's right. You actually own them. So if a new game comes out, you're subscribed to Game Pass, you receive a game, you own that game. Simple. But it's not going to work like that, because then you would cancel your subscription as soon as you got all the games you wanted, and then you'd resubscribe and they'd lose money. So they can't do that. It's not good for the consumer. I don't know how you can think that. It's not. Makes no sense.
With the Game Pass, but like, it's intrusive as hell. This whole thing, this whole system of the rec packs and these items you get out of them is intrusive, because here's the thing. You thought, like, did you think that, like, if they didn't have it as a microtransaction, that Warzone was a pretty fun mode?
It was okay. I thought it was okay.
Right, like, that's...
But if Warzone didn't have the microtransactions... If Warzone didn't have the microtransactions, it'd be a pretty fun mode. In what regard? You fight the Warden Anal. A boss we fight over 7 times in the goddamn campaign. If you weren't sick of the Warden Anal in the campaign, then there's something wrong with you. Okay? You play the campaign, you defeat the Warden Anal 7 fucking times across multiple levels. Okay, like 90% of the levels in the game feature the Warden Anal in some capacity. You beat him 1,000,000 times. And then you're like, okay, the campaign sucked. What else is there to do in this game? Warzone mode. And what do you do in Warzone mode? You fight the Warden Anal. So, what's so great about Warzone? You get to fight the same shit bosses? Great. You get to fight bosses that are really overpowered. Destiny-ass bosses where you can't actually kill them. That's fantastic. And you get to buy the weapons with real money, which is basically the whole idea of the fucking concept of it. Otherwise, you're just basically playing like a version of Big Team Battle with bosses. But that wouldn't be Warzone, because Warzone was designed around the rec stations and cards and buying your own vehicles and blah, blah, blah. So I don't see how. Warzone doesn't exist. Warzone doesn't exist without the rec system. It's made for the rec system, so I don't see how you could have one without the other. It wouldn't be the same thing anymore. Warzone's one of the most boring modes ever. The only thing that's worse than it in that game is Warzone Firefight, which is even worse.
It's a big chunk of the game, though, and a lot of content came out for that. And just the fact that, you know, customization, like basic customization, was locked behind that. Like, none of the armor pieces you got through leveling up, you had to get the rec pack system.
Yeah.
Like imagine if this happened in Halo 3, right? Let's say that basically you had to get Hayabusa by unlocking these rec packs. You had to go and buy the rec packs, and either A, it would be a random thing.
Well, that's just like injecting AIDS into a perfectly good fucking ride. I mean, you can't compare Halo 3 to Halo 5 no matter what you do. It doesn't make any sense. If you switch things around, if Halo 3 had microtransactions and Halo 5 didn't, would Halo 3 still be a better game than Halo 5? I think it would. But it wouldn't be the great fucking game that we all know it to be. It wouldn't be the best seller. It wouldn't be the game that sold millions everybody loves, because it would have been marred by the microtransactions. Whereas Halo 5 is a shit game with shit microtransactions, which is even worse. That's all I can say, but I don't know why you would make that comparison.
Like, either you get the Hayabusa piece, or you get an assault rifle for a insane multiplayer mode or some shit, you know?
Yeah, and
it would have been terrible. It would
have made it less valuable too. Like Recon, man. Remember, everyone was like, "Oh man, you have Recon. You must be really good at the game, or you're a Bungie employee or whatever."
Right.
Oh, you got Hayabusa. That's cool as fuck.
Wow, you actually worked your ass off to get that? Yeah.
And now it'd be like, if this was in Halo 3, like, "Oh, you have Hayabusa. Who cares?"
Right. You spent money.
Like,
who fucking
yeah.
cares? And the thing is they're trading the idea of player skill and dedication for fuck you, give us money.
Exactly.
That's literally what they're trading it for. And that's I guess the most upsetting part is that Frank O'Connor, who has been a part of this, I think, as far back as Halo 2.
Here we go. Here comes the bullshit. What did I say at the beginning of the video? Frank O'Connor is no Halo fan. He was in marketing since day one. That's all he's ever done. That's why Bungie didn't take him with him. He works for Microsoft. He does marketing. He's a snake oil salesman. That's all he's ever done. Here comes the bullshit. Oh, Frank O'Connor used to be a great guy. No, he was a dick back then. No one just fucking noticed as much because the games were good. People just move the fuck on. They just say, yeah, whatever, Frank O'Connor, he's alright. He's just a yes man. That's all he is. He just says the same shit. So why do people have this fucking false complex about Frank O'Connor? The man that can do no wrong. The man that can tell no lies, Mr. Canuck. Yes, of course. Of course. Whatever. What is this bullshit?
That's when I remember first seeing him. He is now saying this isn't intrusive at all, and that we're still going to basically have this in Halo 6.
Yeah.
But who didn't expect that to happen? It's like everybody forgot about all the videos that I did over the last few years, and all the videos that other people did over the last few fucking years about how this is just going to get worse because everyone's buying into it. Yeah, everybody just seems to forget about that shit. Everybody just like, yeah, well, actually, nah, they wouldn't do that again. It's like, why wouldn't they? They sold like, I don't know, I can't remember if it was 200,000 in the first week alone in ret packs. $200,000 in the first week. In the first week, they funded the World Championship with it, 2.5 million, and then they kept going after that. It was like 2.5 million or something. on Ret Pack sales before the World Championships had even fucking ended. The first World Championships, the ones like in the same year or the year after. Because people keep buying into this shit. But does everyone forget all about this? It's numbers, man. The only way you counter it is by not buying the game, by not supporting the game, so that if there's no fucker playing the game, no fucker can buy any microtransactions. They won't make enough money off the initial game sales to fund. And maybe that's why they're doing the Game Pass, because then no one's actually buying the game, hence they have an excuse to be like, well, it's sort of free to play, but it isn't, and, you know, whatever.
It's not gonna go away.
If the rec system is exactly the same as it is in Halo 6 with armor and customization
But
options,
it's going to be way worse. It's not going to be the same, is it? It's going to be worse.
that were in Halos 2, 3, Reach, 4. This has been in 5 games basically with ODST, counting ODST, because you had to unlock shit in that. In 5 games, that's been in 5 games, and if
Well, hold on a minute. You didn't unlock armor ODST. You unlocked characters. Difference.
this is in Halo 6, I'm kind of on the same, the same pathway as a lot of the people who's covered this story. I've already said this. If Halo 6 is just like Halo 5, I'm gone. I'm leaving the community.
Yes, but what happens when we start getting close to launch? Are you going to stick to your guns, or are you going to do what all these other fuckers are going to do and just fucking eat all their words a la B. Dobbins for the win? Oh, I'm not buying Halo 5 until they fix the MCC. Then reviews Halo 5. Yeah, that makes sense. So didn't we see you say save MCC first, and then you bought and played and reviewed Halo 5? And the same thing's going to happen with Halo 6. I'm not buying Halo 6, and then everybody goes and buys it. And everybody puts money into the microtransactions, and everybody supports it. Green Skull just came out and even did videos on about the microtransactions and change and shit. I'm sure he did. I can't remember which fucking video that was, but he was the guy that was all like, yeah, I'm supporting it, because he's a shill. And even he's come out and started saying stuff about it, but and Halo follower as well, but the minute Halo 6 comes out and it's got microtransactions and it's gonna be like, yeah, well, I was just kidding, I really love them, they're great, yeah, and we just start a new cycle of bullshit.
Yeah, if it is like that, I'm not gonna get the game at all. Fuck
right,
that.
exactly. And I'll still call them out on their bullshit, but I'm not gonna buy the game, especially if that's what we're hearing, is that these armors that have been.
What you just said about Game Pass. So are you going to buy into their bullshit Game Pass? Hence, you will have access to that game through your Game Pass subscription. Hence, bypassing the need to buy that game. Hence, you will use that as an excuse to play the game and buy the game. Well, not buy the game, but play the game and enjoy the game or whatever, because you own it through Game Pass. If you actually like the Game Pass idea, then you now no longer have to ever buy Halo 6, because you will have it with your Game Pass subscription. So if you are going to subscribe to Game Pass to play XYZ, you will also get A, B, C, D, E. If you subscribe to get Sea of Thieves, you're going to get Forza. If you subscribe to get Forza, you're going to get Halo. If you subscribe to get Halo, you're going to get Gears of War, blah, blah, fucking blah. So if you become a Game Pass fucking whore, or whatever you want to call these people, Game Pass whore, I like that. I'm coining that right now. Game Pass whore. If you want to be one of those Game Pass whores and just get all your games through Game Pass, then you won't have to buy Halo 5. And this is going to weird up the sales even further, because we're not going to know how many people are subscribed to Game Pass, how many people are playing through Game Pass. So the sales numbers are going to be whatever, and then they're going to use it as an excuse like, well, the game didn't sell well, but a lot of people are playing through Game Pass, so they're going to hide the sales that way. Again, because that's what Microsoft do. But there you go. They're not going to tell you how many people are subscribed to Game Pass, but they'll be telling you that a load of people are on Game Pass, and therefore the game is actually doing really well. But it doesn't mean it is. So you can't say, well, Game Pass is now good for consumers, so that means you're thinking of getting Game Pass, but you're not going to get Halo 5, even though you now don't need to buy it because you're thinking about getting Game Pass, which bypasses the need to buy the game in the first place. I mean, moving on.
So a part of the community and these customization options that have been a part of the community have, you know, are just gonna be tied into the microtransactions again. And this made me really think about this, right? Think of all.
Or they could do class-based multiplayer like Battlefront 2 and put the classes and the weapons behind the paywall, and put the star cards and shit behind the paywall, because we don't know what the game is like yet. Could be like Overwatch, could be like Battlefront, could be like Call of Duty. Nothing is off limits to free for free. They hold nothing sacred. Anything's possible. Anything.
The stuff that came out during these free updates that basically were tied to the microtransactions. Think of some of these were just free updates that you had to work to get. You remember that assassination I've got in Halo 5 Guardians that I call Suplex City, bitch?
Yeah.
Where it's called Long Dart or something, and literally you pick him up and you slam him face first into the ground on his head, and I always yell Suplex City, bitch. Imagine if I had to get that, I had to perform 50 assassinations or something with the regular assassination, and then I get a different one, and I have to use that one and get 100 assassinations, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that would have been something I could get behind. You know, like, I would get behind working my ass off and, you know, sneaking up on people and assassinating them. If that meant...
But what's the point in that when you already said the game sucks? So the pot's calling the kettle here. What's the point? You said the game was shit, therefore you bought microtransactions to try and make the game better, even though that made no sense. But you're now saying that you would be happy to do 500 assassinations to unlock something, even though the game's terrible anyway. So at what point do we just admit the game's terrible and move on? If Halo 6 is terrible with microtransactions or without, it's still a terrible game. So if Halo 5 is a terrible game, why do you care how you unlock shit in the game if it's a terrible game to start with and you don't really want to play it? Don't see where you're going with this.
Man, I get to do a suplex to someone because everyone knows I love suplexes.
Right.
So,
Yeah, now everyone just has to rely on luck to get what.
But you're not familiar with Austin Aries and TNA when he chose option C, because you're not aware that their option C exists.
They want, and that's not okay.
right, exactly. It's not okay whatsoever. And honestly, guys, I don't know how exactly, you know, things are going to play out. But if this is true, if this is what Halo 6 is going to be like, I promise you, if this is what they're planning, and if when we first see Halo 6, it looks more of the same shit, then
My prediction is GamerJlee is going to buy Game Pass, therefore he'll bypass buying the game, so he'll fulfill his promise in this video, but he'll still play the game through Game Pass, hence bypassing what he said in this video anyway. That's my prediction. Because he's just said a few minutes ago that Game Pass is good for the consumers, so there you go. There's my reasoning behind that.
I'm going to be backing away, you know, backpedaling. And I'll just stick with MCC. I guess the main thing I'm trying to say and get out of this is that we don't want more systems that are based on using money. and you know, paying to customize. Like, I understand that video games are getting more and more expensive to make, but the problem is that
That's lies. That's bullshit lies. I've been through this a million times before as well. Games have made more money since Hollywood, since the PS2. Okay, games sell more now than they ever sold. They make more money than they've ever made. So there's absolutely no way in hell that they need more money. Okay, if they do need more money, it's dead easy. You just sell games for $80, or you sell them for $100 if they're worth that amount of money. But they're not, because they're not even as good as the ones that came out before them. Halo 5 is nowhere good as Halo Reach, so why would you pay double for Halo 5? You wouldn't. It makes no sense. It doesn't even have split screen co-op or split screen multiplayer or anything. So why? How you can't sell an inferior product and then say that you need more money? How can you need more money? It doesn't make sense. It's not even as if Halo 5 is so much more improved graphically than Halo 4. If you put them side by side, you can hardly tell the difference. So what are the fucking chances of that? How could they possibly have had this huge fucking budget that, yeah, it costs them a bit to make Halo 5, but how much does it cost to manufacture them Blu-ray discs and fucking send them out? Obviously they make a profit, otherwise they wouldn't do it. Okay, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to do it last generation and make a profit. So obviously it's just a way of making more money, and it's greed. Okay, games make more money now than they've ever done. Go on Wikipedia, look up old consoles, Nintendo 64 to now, whatever, and you'll see the game sales have increased. They've increased over the years. Unless the console's done badly like the Wii U, then sales will decrease. But other than that, look at Nintendo. They've all gone up. All the sales of all their big games have gone up. All the sales of Microsoft's big games have gone up over the years. None of them have gone down, apart from Halo 5. But that we already know why that is. It's because the game sucks. If you look at the average, like, it's all more or less gone up from back in the day because more shit sold. So the idea that it's costing more to make games now, well, games make more money than they've ever made. Like, EA needs to make money on Battlefront 2 by having microtransactions, even though it's a fucking Star Wars game, and Star Wars is worth mega money, and it's going to sell millions on multiple systems. And they don't need that money. It's just pure greed. And everybody knows that. I don't know why you're trying to say, like, well, I don't know why you even toe that line that, oh, they need to make more money. They don't. It's a lie. And if they need to make more money, if they actually need to make more money, I'm sure people would rather pay extra for the game up front. It's as simple as that. Pay extra for the game up front, no microtransactions. Simple. Okay, if they can show us that they need to raise the price of games and it's across the board and everybody agrees, then why not do that? Why have a fucking off of a game release with microtransactions and then make the excuse that it's because they need to make more money when they're making less because they're not selling as many anyway? It doesn't make sense at all.
Taking away features that we've had in previous games and slapping a price tag on it, where it used to be that you would have to have player skill. You would have to have dedication to beat Halo 3 on Legendary to get the EVA and the EOD and all those different armors, right? You would have had to have dedication to get the 1000 gamer score to get the katana body piece. You would have had to have dedication to find all the gold skulls in Halo 3 to get the Hayabusa armor. You would have had to have dedication.
Say what?
To play through the game.
What did he
and
just
get
say?
all of the Vidmaster achievements to
Rewind. That's wrong. What?
Halo 3 to get the Hayabusa. Have to have dedication to beat Halo 3 on Legendary to get the EVA and the EOD and all those different armors, right? You would have had to have dedication to get the 1000 gamer score to get the katana body piece. You would have had to have dedication to find all the gold skulls in Halo 3 to get the...
Okay. There's no gold skulls in Halo 3. Okay, there's skulls. But as far as I'm aware, I don't know if you have to get all the skulls to get Hayabusa, but to my knowledge, to get Hayabusa, you just have to jump through those rings on the truth level, or what is it? Fuck is that level called? To my knowledge, all you have to do to actually get Hayabusa itself is to jump through those rings when you're on your way to fight Truth on the Covenant mission. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's like an Easter egg thing. It's not that difficult once you know how to do it. I mean, I don't know if you have to unlock the other skulls, but again, those other skulls are not hard to get either, really. It takes a bit of time, but I don't even think you have to get them. Can't you just do that thing with the rings? I mean, someone can correct me on this, but there's definitely no gold skulls. I don't know where he's got that from.
The Hayabusa armor. You would have had to have dedication to play through the game and get all of the Vidmaster achievements to, actually unlock that armor. And they added something like this during Halo 5's lifespan, which was the Achilles, armor. I don't think you ever saw that, right, Matt?
No, I didn't.
It's basically like a Spartan's helmet, like the old Spartans of the old Roman, myth, right? Like with
Roman myth? Spartans ain't got nothing to do with the goddamn Romans, man. Come on. Come on now.
the
Yes.
emblem with the mohawk.
Yeah.
It's a helmet that looks like that, and it was so cool, and everyone wanted it. And they did do something like this. You had to work as a Spartan company and reach certain goals to unlock this armor. And that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's something I'd be willing to work for, because that was their equivalent of recon armor in Halo 6. But the truth is that it wasn't that tempting, because a lot of people already had left the community because the rest of the armor was behind a microtransaction.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, I wasn't even trying to get that armor. I had a Spartan company, and everyone was messaging me saying, hey, can we work on getting Achilles? I said, guys, I'm not going to play. Like, I just don't really care. I'm not going to go try hard trying to unlock something whenever
But surely that's because the game was wank, and that brings me back to my point from earlier.
I don't even enjoy the game.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
It puts a bad taste in your...
So that means, why are you talking about you would be happy to get 500 assassinations? I see what I mean? Doesn't make sense. You wouldn't, because you don't want to play the game anyway. Because the game's shit. So it doesn't matter how you unlock shit assassinations, because you don't want to play the game to unlock them anyway. Because the game sucks. And that's one of the main problems with the game, is it just flat out sucks.
in your mouth. And honestly, I just don't know where Halo 6 is going to be able to make any progress.
And not if they...
Well, obviously, everyone's going to get it through Game Pass, bypassing the sales, so the sales will be even lower, and then they'll really turn it up to 11 on the pay-to-win aspect and the microtransactions, and that's either going to be sink or fucking swim for Microsoft on that. Probably sink, based on what happened with Battlefront, and it will completely destroy what's left of the Halo franchise. That would be a realistic prediction at this point. The only way to save Halo 6 would be to bundle it with Halo Anniversary at this point. Halo 3 Anniversary.
include microtransactions the way they are right now, it's not.
Well, exactly. And you'd think whenever he puts in the quote, we watched the EA Battlefront thing with the curiosity you'd expect I think you would expect us to hear you say there won't be any microtransactions.
Yeah, like, oh, we don't want that to happen to us. Fuck that.
Well, how can he do that? He's just a mouthpiece, and that's not his decision. He's got a damage control, whatever. That's his job. That's what he's been doing since day one.
Listen to you guys, but no. You have to act like we like it. Are you dumb?
Right, and you know,
Outrage. Disney literally made them take down the microtransactions.
exactly. And the thing is about it is, it seems like they are picking and choosing who they want to hear from. They're picking and choosing the community members they want to listen to. They'll listen to the guy on the left, and they'll listen to the guy on the right, but the guy in the middle who's screaming at them that they don't want this, they won't listen. They won't listen. They're like, oh, well, guy on the right says it's okay, guy on the left says it's okay, but guy in the middle, go fuck yourself. You're a motherfucker. You hear me?
Oh, did you say something? I didn't hear you.
Right, exactly. Sorry, you're too far away from what we want. We don't want to hear it. Like, that's what I'm saying, is that that's the kind of thing they're going for, is that they want to hear what they want to hear. And it's sad. It's sad. And honestly, this is making me now worried more about that whole thing of cut content in the game at launch.
Right.
That makes me even more worried, because think of all the things that we just got back Oddball, for fuck's sake, as a custom game finally.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
Right. It's a different story, but this is a slippery slope. This is the first sign. This is the first sign of Halo 6 being a game I'm not going to want to be involved with. And if there's more signs, I'm gonna back away from this thing faster than you can say Master Chief.
Yes, but you just said about the Game Pass, so now that makes me question that.
Like,
Master Chief.
I'm running. No, like, it's just sad. It really is. And Frank O'Connor, I know that you've responded to this from certain community members, and you'll probably never hear what I have to say, but this cannot be how Halo 6 goes. Halo 6, customization options.
What would you like Frank O'Connor to do about it when he literally has no control over that?
Or paid to win options like the rec system cannot be in Halo 6. And your quote was so off that it is almost disturbing. The lack of honesty, it felt like. It feels like a lack of honesty, in my opinion. Right, Matt?
Right. No, I totally agree.
It basically sounds...
But that implies that Frank O'Connor tells lies, and as we know, Chief Canuck said he doesn't, so...
Sounds like you're not listening to the community, even though...
He's being ignorant.
Exactly, that's the word I was looking for, is, being ignorant to what the community is...
That's not ignorance, that's just fucking marketing. It's a snake oil salesman selling you his snake oil. That's what it is. He's not ignorant, he knows. He knows all this shit already. He's just doing it because that's what he's been told to do. He's been told, whatever you do, don't fucking bash this shit, because he knows it's going to be in the fucking game anyway. So he's got to sell it. That's his job, to sell the fucking product. That's all he's ever done. That's all he knows. So it's not stupid, is it? It's not ignorant. It's just Frank O'Connor being Frank O'Connor, like he has done since the beginning. It's just people don't seem to understand he's always been a massive twat. There's a difference.
Truly saying. And you may be making hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever the hell, because I forget how much the total was the first week Halo 5 came out of how much you made.
200,000.
But I can promise you, I've seen people do these rec pack openings and stuff, and basically pushing the idea of spending money. And it seems like they're just following their own agenda and then saying, well, here's proof that people aren't, upset about this. This guy liked it, and then look at the guy's video. It's got like 800 dislikes and like 100 likes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's really funny because I had agreed with Duststorm a long time ago on this before Halo 5 even came out. Where he was basically talking about, if they don't get Halo 5 right because of what Halo 4 did, Halo's done. Like it's dead. And I'm surprised it isn't as dead as it should be, really. So if they really
So
don't
losing half the fan base isn't enough? Okay, whatever.
get Halo 6 right, it's for sure a done deal. It's done. And if they really don't look at it and be like, okay, what do we have to do right? If they just keep doing the same shit because of corporate greed, they're gonna bury themselves a very deep hole.
Right. And here's the thing about it, and the honest truth about it is that Duststorm said that, right? If they don't get Halo 5 Guardians right, there's no coming back for Halo. Yet the day after Halo 5 Guardians was released, back when I was listening to Podtacular, he was sitting there defending the hell out of it. He was sitting there just...
What a surprise. Someone saying something before launch or during the launch period and then completely changing their mind after. Who knew?
Saying, it's different. You just don't like it because it's different. No, dude. We don't like it because it's missing content and it's got a pay-to-win game mode and the features that we had in Halos 2, 3, Reach, 4, and what else do we have? Oh, ODST customization are locked behind a paywall. And I'm hating to say this. I think the reason why his whole mentality changed is because throughout the entire year before the game came out, he kept getting care package after care package from Microsoft and 343 Industries of free shit.
Oh.
That's why I feel this way about that. And I know he's a good dude. I know that
No, he's not. He's a fucking shill. Obviously.
Godzilla Todd is a good dude.
No, he isn't. He's a dick, whoever he is. Never even spoke to him, but he's already a dick. He just explained to me what he was doing. He's a knob. Simple. How hard is that to understand? Why are they all going to be these great guys? Clearly, he's not a great guy. He's accepting fucking shit from Microsoft, and he's shilling their fucking product before launch. Wow. Great guy there.
But that's bullshit. You say one thing, but after it comes out and after your friends from 343 Industries have given you something, you're feeling a little bit different. And
that's only 90% of the people on YouTube with regards to Halo 5, but whatever,
Honestly, if I see a package on my doorstep from 343 or Microsoft, that bitch is going back. I'm going to say to the UPS guy, put that back on your truck. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I'd just fucking be in the shit or something. Be entertaining.
It bugs me. It just bugs me, the amount of ignorance that is coming out of this man's mouth. Someone who basically left Bungie to work for Microsoft because they knew that Halo was going away after Reach. And that they were going to be in charge of it, and they thought he was the best guy for the job.
Yeah.
Why with the ignorance again? What the hell? I don't understand how you can make Halo videos for so long and not know these things.
The amount of ignorance that is coming out of this man's mouth. Someone who basically left Bungie to work for Microsoft because they knew that Halo was going away after Reach.
Frank O'Connor worked for Microsoft from the beginning. He wasn't at Bungie until Microsoft put him in Bungie to help them market their product, to help them sell their product, to help them push their product. He is Microsoft before he's Bungie. He is Microsoft before he's 343. He is their marketing team. He is the ultimate, the original Halo shill. That's what Frank O'Connor is. Why can you not understand that? What has he ever done? What part of the game did he build? Nothing. What part of the art did he draw? Nothing. Nothing. He's done nothing. He didn't create anything. He didn't even have any ideas that went into the game. As far as I'm aware, apart from someone saying that he made the story for Halo 5 or something, it was his idea, but I think that was just a fucking total bogus video, but that's something someone said, but he's not really a Halo guy. He's just some guy trying to sell you snake oil. So why do we keep going back to this idea that Frank O'Connor is this Halo guy when he's not?
And that they were going to be in charge of it, and they thought he was the best guy for the job.
Yeah, Halo 6 is definitely... It's probably, at this rate, unless they announce something that's totally going to go back on their roots or whatever, it's not going to sell much, I don't think.
So let's say Halo 6 goes back to its roots, even though that's bullshit marketing slogan. Let's say it's like H2A, but it has microtransactions and Warzone mode. What's the freaking difference? Now you've got maybe a better product, but it's still got the shitty microtransactions and stuff you're talking about here. So what's the point? Either way, you're fucked.
It'll sell because it has Halo in the name.
Yeah.
But it'll probably...
They said that about Halo 5 and it lost half its fan base, so that doesn't necessarily ring true. Now they've just introduced Game Pass where people aren't going to be buying games, they're going to be renting them.
Even the lowest selling Halo game of all time besides like ODST.
Well, and here's the thing about it.
Hey? What? Hey? Didn't ODST outsell Halo 5? Am I missing something here? Oh.
Is that right now this is the first, slip on the road to Halo 6. And if they don't get it right, if they basically, don't start, making changes. Like, we got some good news.
We know they're not going to do that. Why are you expecting anything different? Where's this video idea come from? They ain't gonna fix it. What gave you the impression they were gonna fix it? Where's that come from?
There's gonna be split screen in the game in Halo 6.
No, there's gonna be split screen on Scorpio in some way, shape, or form. That could be anything from split screen co-op campaign all the way up to 4-player multiplayer. And that doesn't mean it's going to work on the original Xbox One, because from Green Skull's video it said it's going to be on Scorpio, which is now the Xbox X. And didn't they say because of the Xbox X now they can do it or something in there? In the thing, if you go back and read the actual article, it was something about the Xbox One Scorpio and how that enables them to put in split screen. So does that mean there's going to be no split screen unless you have an Xbox One X? So we don't know that. We don't know there's going to be split screen in the game. They said there was going to be split screen in the game in Halo 5. Did Josh Holmes, and then all of a sudden there wasn't. So how do we know that's actually going to happen? We don't know that.
One thing that's good.
There's going to be that, but here's the thing. This was the major problem with Halo 5 was two things: cut content at launch, and if there's
more than two things wrong with Halo 5. I'm not having that. That's bollocks.
Cut content at launch, and it feels like it's cut content, I'm not gonna play it. And microtransactions. Now the thing is if the rec pack system was only for Warzone, right, Matt? If it was only for Warzone, I wouldn't give a shit. Because I'd be like...
Well, that contradicts what you've just been saying about how you think Warzone would be a good mode if it didn't have microtransactions in it, which implies that you would play Warzone and would enjoy Warzone, but it has microtransactions in it. Therefore, that means that you actually like Warzone, you just don't like the microtransaction aspect. But now you're saying if it was only in Warzone it doesn't matter, but then you wouldn't be able to play Warzone because it has microtransactions. So how does that make sense? Also, then they incorporate Warzone Firefight, which then fucks up yet another game mode. And as long as there's a game mode that has microtransactions and they're trying to push microtransactions, then that's the game mode they're going to keep updating and putting more time into to make people spend more money. So that's going to negatively impact everything else in the game. There's no BTB because there's Warzone. There's no invasion mode because there's Warzone. There's no game modes in the game because they spent time building Warzone. That's a fact. So why would it be like, well, if it's in Warzone, it's okay? Nah, it's not okay. Bullshit.
Guess what? I'm just not gonna play Warzone. I'm not gonna play Warzone. Okay? I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna buy it, and I'm not gonna buy the rec packs. You know, even with my points, I just wouldn't do it. But the thing is they took emblems that were in the past games. They took customization like visors, helmets, and body pieces, and everything else, and threw them in a gold little card pack and said, hey, you want that shiny new helmet that we just released in this free update that was in Halo 3? We'll go gamble for it.
Or just option C, go play Halo 3. Problem solved.
Ridiculous, God.
It is. So, guys, let us know what you think about what Frank O'Connor said in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like on the video. If not, and if you disagree with us, leave a dislike. But if you are going to leave a dislike, go down in that comment section down below and let me know why. Let me know why you disagree with our, opinion of this whole situation, and let us know. Let us know why you feel that way. Maybe you can change your mind, or maybe you can add a little more context. But in all honesty, I don't see any other way about this. It seems ignorant to me. It seems ignorant to what the community has been saying for years. And honestly, it was one of the things that made me not want to even touch the Halo Wars 2 multiplayer. But that's for a different day. So guys, if you would also like to, you can go down in the description down below and you can check out my Twitter. I tweet on there almost every single day, and there's some pretty funny memes over there at the moment after we created one on my last video of unboxing Sonic Adventure, soundtracks. But
see this P96 guy, I would have ran him over so many fucking times by now. What a dick. Like, get out the fucking way.
Yeah, go check that out. I post some wicked memes and, talk to other members of the community.
Hey, it's lit memes,
What
mint
a fucking
memes.
knob.
Mint
P96.
memes, yes. And then down below, you also have a link to my Twitch channel where me and Matt just started our playthrough of Sonic Adventure 2 over on Twitch. 3 hours of content. We just played through the entire hero story, and next week we're gonna start the villain story. And hell, even if we might have enough time, we might even do the epilogue story if we get that far. So go over there, hit
Anything but Cannon's core, man.
that follow button, and make sure that you have your notifications on for whenever we go live. You also have down at the very bottom the link to our Discord. Yes, our Discord channel, which has been growing quite fast over the past year and has a huge supply of members and community members that love to chat it up. There's all sorts of sections to talk in, including a dedicated looking for group. If you want to find a friend or find someone to play some video games with or hunt achievements for, you can find them there in our Discord. So go ahead, check those out if you like. But as always, guys, GamerJlee, Insane Matt, signing out.
See you guys.
And we're done. I had to record the end again. It glitched out, so feel free to subscribe. See you later.